Stepping out the murder van, nothing they seen before. One hand wash the other hand. Battle scars I needed to. Living by the law, y'all can keep it cool. I've been organizing, strategizing, they ain't peeping though. This is not a drill, this is not a rental. What I look like, earn my stripes, man, I'm too official. They gon' say they knew me, but they don't know the new me. I'm glorious, notorious, Biggie with the cool. I wrote this on the loose sleeve, kicking shit like Bruce Lee. Never slipping blade under my pillow like it's loose teeth. This is how I told you look, doing what I'm supposed to do. If you rockin', then I'm rockin', nigga. That's how soldiers move.
Right. Soldier move, nigga. Soldier moves, nigga. Shaw. Okay. Man, I hate when the pussy niggas speak to me, cause only one I talk to is beneath the sheets. I'm rude in speech, cavity in my fist might lose your teeth. Who is you to me? Now you can't even damn chew or eat, just fucking drink. But I take that way if you don't even think I'm off the leash. I'm humble but will still unleash. Talk big but shrink when you're run a damn righteous priest. I'm so unique and all my women thick petite. I'm gone. I be on my level. Haters want my shine. Nigga, I ain't shit. I think they know I'm lying. But really I ain't shit. I ain't enough broccoli. I need a whole buffet, cause I ain't going back.
Let me tell you something. It's such a fool's game to think that you have to seek power. You have to seek the Most High, and you'll have all the power. I got more power, brother, than you could imagine, and I sought none of it. Like I got power. I ain't sought none of it. I just want to work hard in this truth. I want to be the best soldier I can be. All my soldiers take over. All my soldiers take over.
Yeah. Yo, come on. Yo, Kashak, pull off. Yeah. And don't go backwards. Let's go.
Hey, y'all already know how South Coast.
All right, go ahead and clap it up. Shalom, Israel, where the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commander General Yohana. This is ISUPK Austin Tuesday Brotherhood class. Brotherhood and sisterhood is a weapon. Brotherhood and sisterhood is the weapon we're going to use to get up out of this impression that we are in, to get up out of this hellhole, to get up out of these lies and this hypocrisy that we have been taught. Okay? Is there any questions? If there are any questions in the room, you can raise your hand. Any questions online, you can chat them in. If you just got something you want to say online, you can go ahead and just chat that in and we'll talk about it. All right? Go ahead.
In 2 Kings 2:1, we're talking about Elijah going up into heaven in the whirlwind.
Uh-huh.
Are you just talking about the actual heaven, or heaven as in like a condition, like a higher state?
No, let's get it though. 2 Kings 2:1, right? When anybody has it, they can go ahead and read it.
It's the book of 2 Kings 2 verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass, when the Lord would take up Elijah into heaven by a whirlwind, that Elijah went to Elisha from Gilgal.
All right. It says, it's 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 1, right?
Okay.
It says, and it came to pass, when the Lord would take up Elijah into heaven by the way of whirlwind. What is heaven? Where is the heaven that the Lord dwells in?
In a different dimension.
The fourth dimension, right? That's where the Lord dwells, all right? So the Lord is bringing Elijah up in the whirlwind. What is a whirlwind?
Like a tornado, or like a tube of air, like tornado, whirlwind, like an air tube, chariot.
A chariot, okay? You're right what a whirlwind is,
right.
But in this context, the whirlwind is in a chariot. So he took Elijah up. There's only 2 people who never perished, who never was unalived, right?
Right.
Who never died, okay? That was what? Enoch and Elijah.
Right.
So this is This is him literally taking Elijah up into the heavens.
In the chair.
So if Elijah never died, how did he be born as John the Baptist?
Because he was still taken from this world, right? He was still taken from this world, and he went where? He went to heaven. All right. So when he went to heaven, he can no longer be a part of this world. Whether you die or not, whether you die and you leave this earth, or the Lord just takes you, that means you are no longer a part of this realm. So to come back through this realm, you will have to be reborn again. It's heavy that you brought this up, because hopefully some of the people that is online, this is what I've been talking to them about how John the Baptist was Elijah. You know, so and that's why I'm teaching what I'm teaching tonight on Immaculate Conception, because so many of our people believe in Immaculate Conception.
Right.
My cousin, hopefully he tuned in, but he believes everything that I say except the Immaculate Conception. He doesn't believe that Christ is God. But I try to tell him, if you believe in the Immaculate Conception, then you believe Christ is God. Because how else could he be immaculately conceived if that's not God putting himself in a woman? All right. Go ahead.
I'll take a quick question. So, in Matthew 28, 18, and 19, I'm going to go ahead and read it. I'm just read the question.
All right, Matthew 28, where?
18. 18 and 19.
Okay.
It look like
Well, I was using it to hold the thing, but it's good now. No, it's to wild. Go ahead.
All right. It says, and Jesus came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. So, verse 19. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. All nations is the tribes in Israel, right? He's talking about
All nations is the tribes of Israel. How do we know that? Go ahead.
Acts 2 and 5.
That's what I want, the precept. Go ahead and pull it. Let me see. Let me see if that's it. Oh, you might have it. Let's see.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 2 and verse 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven.
Read that one more time.
And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation.
It said there was dwelling Jews, devout men out of every nation. Continue.
Under heaven. Verse 6. Now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language.
You see? Because we were Hellenized. All right? That's why it says that he's what, you got a precept? Oh yeah, go ahead. Let me not steal the air. I might say what you're about to say, so let me not steal the air from your lungs.
Genesis 17 and 15. And God said unto Abraham, as for Sarai thy wife, thou shalt not call her Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be. And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations.
Yep.
Kings of people shall be of her.
That's what she is. And, yep, exactly. And it also says that we are going to be, Israel will be taken from the four corners of the earth, from each nation. Okay? So that's what this is talking about. When it's talking about all nations, it's because we are in all nations. But we know that Christ said that he came for the lost sheep of the tribe of Israel. Okay? Any more questions? Go ahead.
I got a question on Acts 18 and 26, because it's talking about a woman teaching somebody.
All right, let's get that.
Unless you're a priest. 18 and 26.
Go ahead and read it. Read it loud and proud.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 18, verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
And he began to speak bodily in the synagogue, whom when Aquila...
Read that again.
And he began to speak boldly in the synagogue, whom when Aquila and Priscilla had heard, they took him unto them and expounded unto him the way of God more perfectly. And when he was disposed to pass into Achaia, the brethren wrote, exhorting the disciples to receive him, who when he was come, helped them much which had believed through grace. For he mightily convinced the Jews, and that publicly doing by the scriptures that Jesus.
I hear a lot of he's up in there. Because it says, and he began to speak boldly in the synagogue, whom when Aquila and Priscilla had heard, they took unto him and expounded unto him the way. All right, so just now, you might tell your rib something, and your rib could tell you something super heavy. Your rib could say something, and you'll be like, damn. I'm going to go out there and say it like that. All right, our women aren't just nothing. That's what we got to get out of our head. Just because our women can't teach, that don't mean they're not going to, that don't mean your woman's not going to get the prophecy and tell you. You going to get the prophecy from your woman and come tell me like you got something heavy. Like it just came from you. And it came from your woman or your child. See, that's what we have to understand. Okay? Read that one more time.
And he began to speak boldly in the synagogue, whom when Aquila and Priscilla had heard, they took him unto them and expounded unto him the way of God.
No, they said it in front of the congregation.
And expounded unto them.
No, they said it in front of everybody who was available.
And expounded unto him.
No, they had to be some loudmouth woman.
And expounded unto him.
They took it to him and they expounded unto him. Just like your woman does. You think your woman doesn't tell you nothing heavy? Right. Oh, you think you're such a priest and officer because of you. You're not. When you got a great woman under you, oh, it just helps. It just makes life so much easier. She's just going to say one thing that she don't even know what the hell she just said. She just opened her mouth like a woman because they can't help it but to run their goddamn mouth. And she just said something so heavy, and you being a priest and prophet here in the Israelite school of UPK, you said, I'm taking that. I'm going to camp today with that. Okay.
That didn't happen last week.
See? Because your woman's going to say something heavy. Your woman is God's people too. Your woman's not dumb. You think all this stuff we have in the school is just because of the men? No. It's because of the women who hold down the men in the school. They say a lot of things that are important. They say a lot of things that matter. Okay? And how do we know that? Who said something? What's another woman that said something? Starts with an R. Ruth. Didn't Ruth say something? Don't every feast day we have a whole goddamn class on Ruth? Telling Mordecai, telling her uncle something. Okay? So that's all that is. Go ahead, y'all. Rapping God, you have something? You got a question?
Come on, sir. How do you explain to I got a lot of brothers and stuff that's in the world, and every time they'll come to me and be like, ask me a question about like getting out of the position they're in right now, and I tell them like, come to class and come mess with me. Come to class and come learn from the people I'm learning from to get you out of the position. And then they tell me like, I can't afford to do that right now. What is the response to that?
Your response is to do nothing. To do absolutely nothing. You already told them about the truth.
Right.
They're already looking at your like, why do you think they're asking you? Why do you think they're asking a trooper in the Israelite school of UPK?
They see.
As a trooper in here, you don't feel like you're the highest ranking man, right?
Right.
But everybody else in the world who is not in here sees you as what?
Like somebody.
You're the highest outside of here. You're the highest ranking man out there. To all those people you deal with, so they're going to come to you for answers forever. Forever. From a trooper to an officer of 5,000 to a captain to whatever, they're going to come to you with these same questions. Because you know what they see in you? They see whatever you're doing is working for your life.
Right.
Even if your rib hates you, even if your children hate you, even if your mother hates you, even if your father hates you, they see that there's something that you're doing that is different. Right. There's something that you're doing that is absolutely working. There's something that you're doing that is hard to do. All of us that are in here, this is not an easy walk.
Right.
The Lord knows I know. I've been through a lot of ups and downs. I caused a lot of them myself. You know? Gave Captain Yatazak hell. Okay? And I realized, you know, you have to realize, see, this is what they don't understand that you understand. Is that you have to have somebody over you. You see, where we come from, being a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, it's hard to have somebody over us. But you can't get them to realize that. Like I can't get you to realize that. You realize that because you realize that. That's it. You can't force them. You can't make them. There's nothing you can say. There's a whole bunch of stuff. We could go through a timeline of my life where you could say certain things, but they don't matter until here. They told me to watch my credit. I didn't until I got here. They told me to stay out of games. I didn't till I got here. They told me what was important in life. I didn't care until I got here. So until you get to that certain point, that's why Christ talked in parables, because it was only for the people who can get it. And if you can't get it, then you can't get it.
Right.
That's it. That's how simple it is, you know, because when we look at the people we love, we just want them to get it. But just look at who you were. And you tell me when you could get it. Right. And when you couldn't get it. I probably could have had this truth way back, because I think about it now. 2007, I was in Harlem, and I was walking by, and there was a group of brothers who was like, brother. And this lady said, they talking to you. And you know what I said? I ain't from here. I don't know none of these niggas. But you know who I believe today that group of brothers was? I believe that was the Israelite School of UPK out there talking, teaching on the streets. But I couldn't even fathom it at that time. So I didn't even think about it. You understand? So them people who are in the world, who you trying to get in here, what is your one job? Your one job is to tell them about the truth.
Right.
Invite them to class, give them a couple precepts. If they don't come, they don't come, right? Because there's people who knew about this truth. All of y'all knew about this truth, not literally before me, but in your age before me. I didn't know nothing about this till I was about 33, 34, maybe 30, maybe 32. That's when I found out anything about an Israelite. Okay? So if they don't want to come up in here, maybe it's not for them. Maybe they're just a part of the 2/3. You ever think about that? It's hard to think your mama's a part of the 2/3. I love my mama. My mama never did me wrong, ever. I never had a horrible mother. My mother did me right every day of my life, and still today does me right. Does me so right that she respects what I am and doesn't disrespect me by wishing me a happy Thanksgiving. Doesn't do that anymore. Okay? So that's how you have to see it. Okay? That's the easiest way to see it. That's the easiest way I can break it down. You know?
Come on.
Go ahead.
So what do you do when you like every aspect of life drained or overwhelmed? Like what do you do?
What you do is you keep pushing forward, because that's what life is. Especially while we're living in hell. We're not living in our heaven. So every day is exhausting. Every single day is exhausting in this kingdom, because I have to get up. I'm going to get up at 4 a.m. By 4:30, 4:45, I'm on the way to the gym. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to leave there. I'm going to go to a slavery. Go somewhere that I don't want to be for 8 hours.
Right.
Then I'm going to go there. Then I'm going to go home. Then when you leave there, then maybe you might be able to go to class. Okay? But every day is going to be draining on you, because every day you're in the oppressor's kingdom. And the oppressor oppresses you every day. The best days of your life, you're still oppressed.
Right.
You know, the days you think, damn, today was a good day. I had a good day today. That day you're still oppressed. Right. Okay? Any other questions? All right. Let's get into the topic. We got any comments or questions online? All right. Let's get 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 58.
Come on. 6 and 58, sir.
God.
Come on. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 58. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands.
You see, they always want to say that Christ is the only son, right?
Right.
He's the only begotten son. But it says it right here. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, the only begotten. We're also called that. Okay? See, a lot of Christians, they want to make Christ immaculately conceived so they can separate themselves from having to be honorable, from having to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, from having to do what's actually right. That's why they separate themselves. Because when you're a Christian, you can say what? Nobody's perfect but Christ.
Right.
And if you could say that, then you never have to do anything right, because you can't. Like literally them saying that, right? Literally you saying Christ is the only one who could be perfect means you cannot be perfect. Continue reading. Is there anything more? Let me see 59. What's that say?
If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure?
I don't need that. Give me Exodus 4 and 22. Because tonight I want to prove this wholeheartedly. And I hope everybody's watching. I hope all y'all who said y'all was going to watch is watching.
Right.
Because this is important. Because this is what I talk about. There's a panel that I'm on with my cousin all the time, and we always talk about this.
Come on. The book of Exodus, chapter 4 and verse 23.
22.
22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son.
Israel is what?
Is my son.
No, only Christ is the begotten son.
Israel is my son.
Israel is my son. Christ wouldn't even be a son of nothing if he wasn't an Israelite. Continue reading.
Come on. Even my firstborn.
Even what?
Even my firstborn.
Israel is the firstborn. That's what you have to understand. You out here talking about, you think Christ is the only son of God. It's talking about Israel, his whole nation. That is his firstborn. Continue reading.
Come on, verse 23. And I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn.
All right, that's why the firstborn of Egypt had to perish.
Right.
Because Pharaoh wouldn't let us. We just wanted a couple days. We were slaves in Egypt, and we just wanted a couple days to serve our God. Have you ever had a slavery and try to go to the Passover where you just want a couple days to serve your God? That's America right now. Egypt and America are the same. Okay? They're the same. Why do you think all these blackity blacks are saying the Grand Canyon is Egypt?
Right.
Why do you think they're saying all this stuff out here is Egypt? Because the same plights that we had in Egypt, the same torment that we had in Egypt, is the same plights and same torments we have in America. Go ahead, Officer Zakaria.
Right, so they also try to admit that America is literal Egypt. You know what I'm saying? We got metaphorically by saying this is a Moab, Utah, and a Jerusalem in either Virginia or North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? And America is the land that the Bible is speaking of.
Right. That's exactly what they say. They really think that. They think you can walk through the Grand Canyon to Egypt through some warmer loophole. Okay? That's what our people believe. And I understand why our people believe this.
Right.
Because where does our history start? I was taught that our history starts with slavery. I wasn't taught anything before then. Okay? I had to go out and search and seek that kind of information. That's because your oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And he will erase your whole history and give you some nonsense. And then he built up America like Egypt. If you go to Washington, D.C., and you look at the metrics, and you look at the way things are built, it's built like Egypt. Okay? We got any more on that?
Verse 24.
No. Give me Exodus 1 and 22.
1 verse 22. And Pharaoh changed all his people, saying, every son that is born you shall cast into the river, and every daughter you shall save alive.
You see, because they know that you are the seed of your father. So all the men child, what do they want to do? Hey, pull up another link, pull up another tab, and go to the Gmail. And take that. You see? So Pharaoh, he wanted them to get rid of all of them, right? But you know, the midwives, they feared God and not Pharaoh. So they didn't unalive none of us. Not just Moses. They didn't unalive none of us. Okay? You got that article? All right, Most High in Christ. Yeah, you go to the Gmail, and it already came through. On my phone, it came through. What you see up there, Zakaria? So you see feet? Oh, yeah. Well, if you see something, you attack it. You see, so when Pharaoh wanted all the male children gone, because they know you're the seed of your father. So he wanted us to be fed as alligator bait, right? He wanted to throw us down. That's why when you look at Egypt, when you look at the hieroglyphics, you'll see a part with Pharaoh and where it looks like babies being thrown into a river with alligators waiting to eat them. America is Egypt, okay? Because Pharaoh wanted our babies fed to alligators.
Right.
So did America. Go ahead and read that article.
Alligator bait, May 2013. Question. I am currently involved. Go read that too. Or keep short down.
Hold on, where you at?
It's,
The question?
Question.
Yep.
All right, question. I am currently involved in a campaign here against a fast food chain called Daisy, who has an alligator bait picture on the wall of one of his franchises.
You see, that's the respect you get in America. That they hold on to their American tradition so much that in this restaurant you can go and you're going to see a picture of the alligator bait. Continue reading.
I wrote to the vice president of the franchise, and his response was that each restaurant they have what they want on the wall. It's American art.
You see, you wrote to the vice president. Is that what it said?
The vice president of the franchise.
The vice president of the franchise, he said they can have what they want on their walls because you are nothing but a slave to them. Even though you're the children of God, to them you are just a slave. Continue reading.
The fast food chain has a 50s USA theme to it. In the mail,
It has a 50s USA theme to it. It has a real racist old time effect and feel to it. Continue reading.
In the mail, I explained the background of this image, that it is demeaning, horrible, and also that it may have a historic background to it. This is why I wrote to you. You have a very serious sight.
Yep.
Where babies ever used as babies.
Where babies were what?
Ever used as babies.
You see, our babies were used as alligator bait. Right there in Florida. You so bound to be a Floridian. I call them Floridians. Okay? So you so goddamn proud. And those Edomites there, that oppressor who you love, fed your children to alligators. Think of that. Think of that next time you want to love your oppressor. The next time you want your oppressor to be in heaven with you. Think about how they fed your babies to alligators. They don't have no love, no compassion, or no care for you. Continue reading. Loud and proud.
Yes. It isn't really a question whether African American babies were used as alligator babies, but the question is how frequent was the practice.
It's not a question that we were used for it. It's a question how frequent. Continue.
How frequent was the practice? During slavery and the Jim Crow era in the United States, African Americans were brutalized and mistreated in almost every way imaginable. If there was a way to kill, maim, oppress, or use an African American for any reason, it more than likely happened.
It said if there was a way to kill, maim, or oppress us, it probably happened. Your oppressor can think of the most demonic ways to harm you. And for the fact that you want to be, as a Christian, in heaven with them, it is sick and disgusting. Because why the hell should you have to stand neck and neck with somebody who did the most horrible and vile things unto you? Right. Continue reading. That's right.
If the skin from an African American might be used for leather shoes or handbags.
The skin of you, the skin of us were used, what did it say? For shoes?
Might be used for leather shoes.
Leather shoes or handbags. You have been a shoe in a handbag. You are a human being, you feel, right? We all feel like we are human beings in here. There have been times where we have been shoes in handbags. And you think your oppressor doesn't deserve any punishment, and your people has been a shoe, something that you walk on, or a handbag. Do you know how disgusting that is? Do you know what has to happen to you for you to be standing up here walking and talking to becoming a shoe and a handbag? You probably should never love your oppressor,
Right.
because your oppressor shows you time and time again that he has never loved you. Continue reading.
Out of gun. Then pretty much all atrocities were possible and probable. African American babies being used as alligator bait.
African American babies were used as alligator bait. Do you know what bait is? Bait is when you're trying to catch something. So you're only putting our babies out there to catch something? You want to make us bait to catch something? Continue reading.
Out of gun. African American babies being used as alligator bait really happened. And it happened to real people. It doesn't seem to have been a widespread practice, but it did happen. It like it is hard to process the thinking that could lead a person to actual use a a live human baby as bait for an alligator.
You see, it's crazy to even think that you could use a baby as live alligator bait. Continue reading.
It's like it is a hard process to the thinking that could lead a person to actually use a live Indian baby as bait for an alligator.
Hey, hey, read it again. Just read it. Just read a. I need you to read a little louder because the mic's way over here.
Out of Wakan, it's hard to process the thinking that could lead a person to actually use a live human baby as bait for an alligator. That is why the objects in the Jim Crow Museum are so important. They help tell the story of a society that
You
defined.
you want to know how your oppressor is the devil? They have a Jim Crow museum. You think Jim Crow was anything good for you? Continue reading.
Con. They help tell the story of a society that defined African Americans as subhuman by
Read it real loud like that kid.
African Americans as subhuman by portraying them as savage and worthless creatures. American Sports 1944. The people are indoctrinated over and over again with items, images, objects, and practices that devalue the humanity of African Americans. Their practices like African dodging, human zoos, and alligator bait become possible.
You see, we're all of them things. African Dodgers, right? Human zoos and alligator bait. Continue reading.
Out of Wakanda. In 1908, the Washington Times
Loud
reported
and proud, real loud.
in 1908, the Washington Times reported that a keeper at the New York Zoological Garden baited alligators with pickaninnies.
Pickaninnies. All right, that's where your picnic comes from. Pickaninnies is pick a nigga. If you don't know, all right, that's where your picnic comes from. Okay, continue reading.
Out of Wakanda. Out of their winter quarter, in the article, two small colored children happened to drift through the reptile house among the throng of, of visitors, and they were pressed into service. The alligators wobbled out as quick as they could after the Ebony mites.
Ebony mites.
Who darted around the tank just as the pursuing monsters fell with grunts and charging into the water. The alligators were caught into
Coaxed.
into their summer quarters by plump little Africans, makes alligators.
You see that? By plump little ewes. They were coaxed. All right? Coaxed out of their quarters. Continue reading. Let me get somebody else in there. Let somebody else get in there and read too. It ain't just you. You ain't got to read the whole thing. So let somebody else get in there and read. Loud and proud.
The headline in the September 21st, 1923 Oakland Tribune reads, Pickaninny baits lures voracious gator to death, and mother gets her baby back in perfect condition. Also $2 in the article. T.W. Villiers chronicles the entire process of using black babies as bait and how these little black morsels.
These little what?
These little black morsels.
They called you a little black morsel. They used you as bait and you was a little black morsel. Continue reading.
These little black morsels are more than glad to be led to the sacrifice.
They said we were more than glad. Who is glad to be sacrificed? Where have you ever read that in the world? That anybody was so glad to be sacrificed? Continue reading.
And do their part in lurking the big Florida gators to their fate without suffering so much as a scratch. Villiers is quick to point out that the babies are brought out of the water alive and whole and can't come out wet and laughing, and that there is nothing terrible about it.
And you believe that? You see how much the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of?
That's right.
That he wants to say that you came out of this laughing as a kid. All right. Have you ever put on a Halloween mask and scared a kid? Were they ever happy about it?
No.
I believe they crapped their pants over it. Okay. So how can we be happy? You're gonna put our babies in there with alligators that are coming out laughing and they're full of joy and glee? No. Continue reading.
Oh, Lacan, except that it is spelling death for the alligators in a strange twist. Villiers reports on the hunters' attempts to rationalize the motivation of the gators to jeopardize every hope of life for a live baby. And in the matter of color, the additional information is vouchsafed that black babies, in the estimation of the alligators, are far more refreshing as it were than the white ones. The article describes the process of placing the babies near the alligators' haunts, with the hunters hidden behind the brush with their rifles. When the baby attracts the gator and it exposes its head.
All right, so we were used as bait. When you bait something, what happens? Really? If you put bait on a fishing pole, how the hell do you catch a fish? What does a fish bite? It bites the bait, right? That's how you get close to it. That's how you lure it in. They're trying to say that we're absolutely safe being used as alligator bait. You ever see a lion by an alligator? You are not a lion.
Right.
Have you ever seen a lion by that water trying to drink and an alligator jump up on it? Simba can't even fight the nigga off.
Right.
And you think you're about to? You're not. Especially as a baby. Continue reading.
Head and forequarters. The hunters shoot the gator and claim their prize. And just in case someone happens to care about the welfare of the baby, the reader is assured that Florida alligator hunters do not ever miss their target.
So you're in there as a target, as a baby, and they shooting. But you should feel safe because they never miss. Somebody give me Genesis 25. Esau is a cunning hunter.
Oh my God. The book of Genesis, chapter 25 and
27?
25 and 27.
Is that it?
You call my con.
Go ahead.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
Esau is a what?
A cunning hunter.
See, that devil, he's a cunning hunter. But you can't trust him. Don't trust him in his ways and what he's doing. Yeah, Esau is a cunning hunter. Okay? That's why it says in this article that he never misses. Because he will wake up at 3 a.m., go into the woods, put deer piss all over his body,
Right.
just to hunt Bambi. That's what he does. He is diabolical. Okay? Read it again.
Come on, con. The book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
Esau is a cunning hunter. That devil hunts all damn day. Continue.
Come on, con. A man of the field.
A man of the what?
A man of the field.
Uh-huh.
And Jacob was a plain man.
Jacob is a plain man. Continue.
Come on, con. Dwelling in tents.
See, we chilling in the house. While they're out there waking up at 3 a.m., putting deer piss all over their body to go harm an innocent animal for no reason, for fun. Not for food, not for clothing, not for anything but for sport. You know who else they hunt for sport? They hunt us. Doesn't Lamentations say they hunt our steps, 4 and 18? Okay. Let's get back to the article.
Turn on the one con. Not ever miss
Loud and proud.
Not ever miss their targets. After the baby is returned to its mother, she is paid the set price of $2.
But what?
$2.
Your life is worth $2. It's still worth $2 today. With all the inflation, with all the high pricing, a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian today is still worth the same $2. If you wasn't, they wouldn't destroy you like they do. But they want to give your mother $2. You know who else they want to give $2 to? They want to give $2 to all the people that they unalive, the police. They want to pay their mothers. They want to pay Trayvon Martin's mother, Mike Brown's, Philando Castile. They want to pay them to take away the sorrow from losing their children from their hunt. You see, that's what we have to understand. Continue reading the article.
Con. This event was also reported by the Atlanta Independent, America's standard Negro newspaper of character, circulation, and opinion. A few weeks later, babies used.
Uh-huh.
One of the most disturbing articles about using babies as alligator bait was reprinted in numerous United States papers from 1888 until 1911. This article refers to an advertisement in Ceylon, modern-day Sri Lanka, newspapers. Babies wanted for crocodile bait will be returned alive. The whole process is described in detail and painted as a harmless way of Ceylonese mothers to earn a small consideration for their use of their dark brown infants with curly toes to attract crocodiles, babies for crocodiles.
Good night. Continue reading.
In July 1968, the Los Angeles Times ran an article about the great fireballer Bob Gibson. Gibson talked about the struggle to get respect as a baseball player, and as a man, he recounted a story from his rookie year in Columbus, Georgia. But a fan who called him alligator bait.
A what?
But a fan who called him alligator bait.
Because that's all you are. Every time they disrespect you to the core. They disrespect you to where they were able to bring you to a low slate. That's why they call you a slave, right? That's why the things they call you, it's at your lowest. Okay, continue reading.
Called him alligator bait. Gibson laughed it off, but then he was told by some local folk that Negro youngsters were actually used in baiting alligators.
You see, he didn't even know this. Just like you don't know this. Just like you go and you smile with Billy. Oh, you love Susie. Yaqua. Susie, you bring that pumpernickel bread. You know niggas ain't never heard of pumpernickel. You like, what is this taste? This is the flavor of pumpernickel from the lands of England. You over there tearing that bread up. It's sweet. You like, good night. Pumpernickel. I like pumpernickel. Susie brings it every morning. I make my coffee. I make my Colombian coffee and I eat that pumpernickel bread. It is so great. It is so great. Oh, me and Billy, we both love LeBron is our favorite player. He loves LeBron. So since he loves LeBron, I feel like he loves me. He doesn't.
Right.
He loves LeBron because of why? Can you tell me? Because he what? Who said it? Because he's what? Because he's entertaining you. Go ahead.
Right, so it's crazy you bring that up. When you said that the only reason why they like, stars in our community is because they're entertainers. I remember thinking about our part in Do the Right Thing when Spike Lee was talking to that shiny dude.
Yep.
And he was like, Prince, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, they're not niggas, they different. And Spike Lee was like, how they different? Well, they're not black. What you were saying, like, they're famous, so they're different.
Yeah.
So they're not your everyday walking nigga.
They're not your run of the mill. They're not your run of the mill man in your community. They're not the regular man who has to go out there and has to make a living from the bottom. These are men that are at the top. So since they're at the top, they are respected. And since they could do something that your oppressor can't, they are respected. But what your oppressor doesn't understand is that you, the same brother in the ghetto, the same brother in the barrio, the same brother on the reservation, you can also do things that they can't do. And that's what we have to understand. We can do things that they can't do. We are greater than them. We are better than them. And every chance that I get, I let them know. I be at the slavery and I let them know every time. My highest devil, I let him know every time that I am better than him, that I am greater than him, that I am worthy. That, yeah, you may be in rulership, but there will come a time that you won't be.
Right.
All right? Let's get off this article. I got to get to some scriptures. Give me 2 Samuel 7 and 12.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 7 and verse 12. And when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee.
So this is talking about David. This is talking about what's going to come after David. Continue.
Come on, kind, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom.
It says, it will come out of his bowels. I will establish his kingdom. Christ's kingdom is established through David.
Right.
Christ came from David's bowels. What does it mean to come from the bowels? What are your bowels? Your cojones. That's what your bowels are. All my kids, they came from my cojones. Not my mind, not my thoughts. They came from my rod plowing the field. I pray you understand. That's how my kids got here. That didn't come from God. God didn't just put some child in my wife.
Right.
I did through the Spirit of the Most High. From the Most High saying, I plowed that field. Continue reading.
Come on, verse 13. He shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever.
You see, Christ's kingdom is established forever. That's how we know this is talking about Christ. Go ahead.
Come on, verse 14. I will be his father, and he shall be my son.
Mm-hmm.
If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men, and with the stripes of the children of men.
Continue.
Verse 15. But my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee.
Continue.
Verse 16. And thy house and thy kingdom shall be established forever before thee. Thy throne shall be established forever.
That's what Christ's kingdom is going to be established forever. He is the king and the ruler forever. Okay, give me Romans 1 and 3. Because this is my question always to Christians who think that Christ is God. We do know that Christ is from the seed of what? David.
Right.
Who is the seed of who? Judah. Mary is a Benjamite. God couldn't just put Christ in Mary, because then he wouldn't be of the seed of David.
Right.
Continue reading.
Come on, the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 3. Concerning his son, Jesus Christ, our Lord, which was made of the seed of David, according to the flesh.
According to the Spirit.
According to the flesh.
According to faith.
According to the flesh.
According to love.
According to the flesh.
According to grace.
According to the flesh.
You have to be according to the flesh.
Right.
All you Christians who think it's just something spiritual, it's not. It's spiritual and it's physical. Christ is from the seed of David according to the flesh. Okay? How are you according to the flesh? Give me Acts 2 and 29.
It's the book of Acts. It's the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 29. Men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David, that he is both dead and buried, and his sepulchre is with us until this day.
His sepulchre is with us today. The sepulchre will never be out of the house of Judah, because Christ is our king forever. Continue reading.
Verse 30. Therefore, being a prophet, and knowing that God has sworn with an oath to him, that of the fruit of his loins, according to the flesh, he would raise up Christ to sit on his throne.
From the fruit of his loins. If Christ don't come from his loins, he can't even be Christ. So Christians, while you saying that Christ is God, you got to understand, if he don't even come from David's loins, he can't even be Christ. So how could he be immaculately conceived? Continue reading.
Verse 31. He seen this before, spake out of the resurrection of Christ, that his soul was not left in hell, neither his flesh did see corruption.
You see, Christ, he didn't fail. When he came as Christ, he did it perfectly that time. Give me John 1 and 45. Christ has a physical father, just like you. All right, this is what I don't understand about Christians. Like, if I'm just going to be a Christian, then I don't need Christ, I don't need the Bible, and I don't need God to be a Christian, because Christians say only Christ can be perfect. So if only Christ can do it, what the hell are we wasting our time for? Why does a Christian go to church if only Christ can be perfect and you can't? What are you wasting your time for? You're wasting your time for no reason, right? If you're a Christian, you should say the hell with the Bible, the hell with God, the hell with Christ, and just do what you want Because since you can't be like Christ, then he's going to have to save you anyway, right? He's going to have to save you because you can't do what you're supposed to do. Go ahead and read.
Come on.
John 1 and 45.
It's the book of John, chapter 1 and verse 45.
Mm-hmm.
Philip findeth Nathanael, and said unto him, We have found him, of whom Moses and the law and the prophets did write, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph.
The what?
The son of Joseph.
It says that this is the man we did find. All right? It said we found him, that Moses and the law and the prophets did write. Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. That's his father. Continue reading.
Come, verse 46. And Nathanael said unto him, Can there any good thing come out of Nazareth?
You see, and that's why most people don't want blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to be the people of God. Because what good thing could come? What good thing could come out of Rundberg? What good thing could come out of the East Side? What good thing could come out of the trenches of Dallas? What good things could come out of the trenches of Houston? Okay? You know what can? You can.
Right.
That's what this is telling you. Give me Deuteronomy. Oh, no. Continue reading.
Come on, verse 47.
No. Give me Deuteronomy 18 and 18.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18 and verse 18. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren.
No, I'll make a president.
I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren.
Continue.
Come on. Like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him.
This is how you know Christians don't believe the Bible, because he will raise somebody up from your brethren, and he will put his words in their mouth. All those people that you go out and vote for, are the Lord's words in their mouth?
Lies.
At all. Okay? Not at all. All right? Give me John 6 and 42.
The book of John, chapter 6, verse 42.
Loud and proud.
And they said, Is not this Jesus, the son of Joseph?
The son of God.
The son of Joseph?
God committed adultery with Mary.
The son of Joseph?
Uh-huh.
Whose father and mother
Whose
we know.
what?
Whose father and mother
It said the son of Joseph. Whose father and mother we know. Why would it say the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know, if he's not the son of Joseph?
Right.
It would say the son of Joseph, whose mother we know. Right?
Right.
Continue reading.
Come on. Whose father and mother we know. How is it then that he saith, I came down from heaven?
How is it that he said he came down from heaven? All you Christians just believe that he is God, and it was God manifested in the flesh, which don't make no goddamn sense. Give me Matthew 13 and 54. We're just going to run through some of this.
The book of Matthew, chapter 13 and verse 54. And when he was coming to his own country, he taught them in their synagogue, and so much that they were astonished and said, Whence hath this man this wisdom and these mighty works?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 55. Is not this the carpenter's son?
Uh-huh.
Is not his mother called Mary, and his brethren, James, and Joseph, and Simon, and Judas?
You see, Christ had a mother, a father, brothers, okay? He was a part of a family. He wasn't just here immaculately. It wasn't just him and God, like you Christians think. Christians think it was just Christ and God, and he didn't have no family. It obviously is telling you about his whole family right there. Okay? Continue reading.
Come on, Con.
Oh, never mind. Drop that and give me Luke 4 and 22.
Luke 4 and 22.
Yep.
The book of Luke, chapter 4 and verse 22. And all bare him witness and wondered at the gracious words which proceeded out of his mouth. And they said, is not this Joseph's son?
Is that who?
Joseph's son?
You see, the people knew this was Joseph's son. Y'all want to talk about this Immaculate Conception? This is Joseph's son. Go to 3 and 23.
Come on, Con. The book of Luke, chapter 3 and verse 23. And Jesus himself began to be about 30 years of age, being as was supposed the son of Joseph, which was the son of Heli.
You see, this is the son of Joseph. Give me Revelations 22 and 16. Oh, go ahead. No, you got a question? Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I had got a brief breakdown on Heli before. So Heli, it's like, so in Matthew, it explains the genealogy of Christ, and it starts off with Joseph. And then in Luke 3, it explains the genealogy of Christ, which it starts off with Heli. So Heli is just a prominent, like a more famous person in Christ's family.
Yeah, because one of them are all the famous people, and then the other one is a breakdown by breakdown. One is, it's gonna say, all right, Yaquab, Leroy, Jerome, Tyrone. That's how it's gonna go, because it's gonna go step by step by step. All right. The other one, it just names the famous people. Okay. So Matthew and Luke is the ones. One of them names the famous ones. One of them names person by person. Go ahead.
Like, is there a way that I can prove that it's the famous people?
There is, but you could just see that by who's in there. Okay. Because you'll be able to go and find them. Okay. You'll be able to go and find them. And I'll make sure I get that for you, like, completely. All right. All right. Where we at?
You said Revelation
22 and 16.
Con. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 22 and verse 16. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David.
Of what?
Of David.
See, Christ himself, he sent his angels to testify against you. It said, I am the root and the offspring of David. If you are the root of something or the offspring, which means you come from their loins, from their bowels. Continue.
Con. And the bright and morning star.
Which is a title. You see, I've been arguing all goddamn day about somebody who says that Christ says he is the I am and that the Lord says he is the I am. When you're looking at Exodus and he says, I am the I am, when he says, Abraham didn't need to know my name, he's just telling Moses, nobody ever needed to know my name. I am what I am. I'm who I am. Just like you said today. Or who is you? Well, I'm me. That's who I am. You better understand it.
Right.
That's what the Lord was saying. All right? Give me Galatians 4 and 4.
book of Galatians, chapter 4 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
But when the fullness of the time was come, God sent forth his son, made of a woman, made under the law.
Yep. And you see, when y'all see that as a Christian, you think it's just, oh, he was only from Mary. Y'all think, oh, he's just from Mary. He can only be from Mary, right?
Right.
That is not what that is saying. Read it again.
Come on. But when the fullness of the time was come, God sent forth his son, made of a woman.
What does that mean? Go ahead. No, you got your hand up. Now you want to scratch your eye. See, that's what niggas do. You know, when they think they got the answer to the question, then they second guess themselves. They hand go like that to that. That brother said. Go ahead.
Like I said, doesn't mean that obviously in order for somebody to be born, it has to be made. Somebody has to sleep with a woman.
Yeah, and you have to come through the woman.
Right.
It takes a man and a woman. Unless y'all can show me. I know the blackity blacks. They say the Bartholomew gland, right? That's what they say. They say that a woman secreted semen through her bones and created men. So they think that was happening. That's why they think the black woman is God. Because they think that was happening for a bunch of years, and then eventually men came. Don't ever let no woman tell you that. Don't ever let no woman have any goddamn power over you. Okay? Because that's all she wants. Go ahead. Let's get that. Yeah, you can't gloss over that. She is supposed to be silent.
This is the book of 1 Timothy 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man.
I suffer not a woman to teach. What's the other precept about that? That sounds right. No, I don't want 11 and 3. I want that other one. 14.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians 14, verse 34.
Uh-huh.
Let your women keep silence in the church.
Let what?
Let your women keep silence.
But what about Creflo Dollar and Prophetess Taffy, his wife?
Keep silence in the church.
But T.D. Jakes is handing the church over to his daughter.
Let your women keep silence in the church.
Women, quit running your goddamn mouth all the time.
For it is not permitted unto them to speak, but
Yes,
they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law.
That's it. Give me Luke 2 and 41.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 41. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. Verse 42. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. And they had
Drop down to 49 for time's sake.
Verse 49. And he said unto them, how is it that ye sought me? Wish ye not that I must be about my father's business?
You see, so his parents were looking for him, his mother and his father. And Christ said, must I be about my father's business? Some of you right now, your parents are looking for you.
Right.
Your parents are wondering what happened to you. Your parents are wondering where you went. Where you went. Not knowing that you were a priest and prophet of God. So you know what you're doing when your parents are looking for you? You are about your father's business.
Right.
Continue reading.
our God, and they understood not the saying which he spake unto them.
And see, just like your parents don't understand. When your parents are wondering why you going to class all the goddamn time, you got to go every day. We go to church on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Why do you got to go every day? Why do you got to go to camp? Because they understand not. But you understand. You understand your duty to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand your duty to your nation. And since you understand that, you know where you have to be all the goddamn time. You think we want to be here all the goddamn time? You think I want to be here right now telling y'all this? I could be at home, chilling, where I want to be. But this is a duty. This is your job. And since this is your job, you should take it seriously.
Right.
That's what I do. I'm the most Israelite, non-wanting to be Israelite. Okay? I don't want to do none of it. I don't want to teach a damn class ever. I don't want to go to camp ever. I don't want to do nothing but what the hell I want to do. Think I give a damn about waking up souls? I don't. It's my job.
Right.
And since it's my job, I do it. But I could be doing what the hell I want to be doing. I could be sleeping with some whore. That's fun. Could be smoking weed, snorting cocaine, drinking all the liquor.
Right.
I gotta sit here and be here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Being here with just dudes. I could be doing what the hell I want to do.
Right.
But you have a job to do. And your job is to work for the Lord and wake up your people. It's not a choice. Go ahead.
It's like if I made it. It's so heavy that you say that because it's like my father and then like my rib, they was like, you go to class so much, you do so much. Where's the balance with the family and everything? And I told her, if I wasn't coming to class, you know what I would be doing right now?
For real.
I'm gonna be with my partners in the world, and we're gonna be doing some dumb shit.
We're gonna be doing whatever we want.
Well, I might just be with another female.
It might just be.
But I'm here with my brothers in the truth.
Exactly. But we do need that balance. That's why sometimes you can't come to class. Because sometimes you might have to just take your rib out just to keep her sane.
Right.
Because she's wondering, what the hell you doing? Trust me, it ain't what I want to do. You should be happy of that.
Right.
And shut your mouth. Because what I want to do, you would cry every night. Okay? Where we at?
Luke 2:50.
You read it already or no?
No, I already saw it.
You read 50?
Last.
All right, go ahead.
This is book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 50. And they understood not the same.
Oh, no, we read that. Yeah, because that's what all these people out here, they don't understand when you saying that you have business to do. Give me 2 Timothy 2:8.
This is book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 8. Remember that Jesus Christ of the seed of David.
No, the seed of the Most High.
Of the seed of David was raised from the dead, according to my gospel.
You see, from the seed of David. Hebrews 2:16. You see, this is important. See, I'm trying to give y'all everything that y'all need for when they come to y'all with this nonsense. Because you're going to get a whole bunch of nonsense all the time. You got to know how to combat it. You got to have the tools. You see, when Christ was in the wilderness, right? When Satan came and tempted Christ, Christ knew the precepts. If Christ didn't know the precepts, he wouldn't be Christ. He would have failed. But because he studied to show himself approved, because he knew what he was supposed to do, he was able to contend with Satan. When Satan comes to you, if you don't know the precepts, you're going to lose the battle. I've been there. I've been there and didn't have the precept, the tool, the weapon to fight Satan, and he defeated me. So you know what you got to make sure you got to have? You got to have the weapons to fight Satan. So when Satan comes to you and tells you to do a certain thing, you just hit him with a precept, right? And then you can defeat him because you know the truth. But before the truth, we didn't know how to fight Satan. We thought Satan was equal with God. Christians always think that it's Satan and God, one and one, and then Christ is, they are 1A and Christ is 1B. Because they give Satan a lot of power. Even though Job says that there was a council in heaven and Satan came, right? Where we at?
Hebrews 2:16.
Go ahead.
God. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 2, verse 16. For verily, he took not on him the nature of angels.
For verily, he took not on the nature of angels. Christ didn't come here like an angel. And see, Christians perceive Christ like he came as an angel, and that's why what? That's why they say what? Nope.
They can't follow the law and see
that they can never be perfect because Christ is different than you. Well, it said he took not on the nature of angels. Continue.
But he took on him the seed of Abraham. Verse 17. Wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren.
In all things it behooved him to be like his brethren. Who is his brethren? Us, the 12 tribes of Israel. That is his brethren. It behooved him to be like Zechariah, Yahweh, Kakamamad, Azayala, Rapanyad, Shamarawan, to be regular like us. Okay, continue reading.
To be made like unto his brethren, that he might be a merciful.
That he what?
That he might be a
that he, for sure.
That he might be.
Christians, read it again from the top.
Wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, that he might be.
That he what?
Might be.
You see, Christians, it said he had to be made like us so he might be. Do you understand what the might means? The might means he has to fight to be great, to be perfect. See, y'all want to make him some fairy tale. Y'all want to make him Peter Pan. That he's just going to fly off and kidnap children. Okay? That's what y'all want to make him. Y'all want to make him some Disney movie, some fairy tale. It says that he might. So what does he have to do? He has to actually go out there and do it. Continue reading.
That he might be made a merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to God, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people.
You see, when Christ came, there wasn't no guarantee. He might do it, just like you might do it. You said what? Go ahead.
Verse 18. For in that he himself hath suffered being tempted, he is able to succor them that are tempted.
You see, if he was just so perfect and great and nothing could get through him, he wouldn't have been tempted. He had to be tempted so us that might be tempted, that we could win too. Okay? Give me Romans 8:3. Damn, I got a lot on this. Hold on.
Romans we gonna read it?
Romans 8 and 3.
Oh, God. This is the book of Romans, chapter 8.
No. Yeah, it is. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. This is the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 3. What the law could not do, and that it was weak through the flesh. God sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin, condemned sin in the flesh.
You see, because what the law couldn't do, he had to send a man that was perfect, that can actually follow the law to the T. Okay? That's what we need. We couldn't have just some spiritual being come down and just do whatever, right? Because if he did, then we would say what? We would say what we say now. We'll say we can't follow the law. How can we follow the law? Christ is perfect. We're not perfect. We're sinning. Well, he came in sinful flesh as well. Hey, we got the Zondervan here or no?
Come on, I got one in my live. It's in the other bag.
Give me Virgin on page 822. Somebody give me John 7 and 42.
I'll be down with it. John 7 and 42.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go ahead and read that, sir.
Yep.
It's the book of John, chapter 7 and verse 42. Has not the scripture said that Christ cometh of the seed of David?
Coming out of what?
The seed of David.
The seed is your seed, your sperm. That's what seed is. We all know that. So Christians, stop looking elsewhere. Christ comes from the seed of David. Go ahead.
Come on, and out of the town of Bethlehem,
Mm-hmm.
where David was.
You see? That's what we have to understand. Okay? Oh, let me get this real quick and see if it'll pull up.
That's another one.
How can they come to Christ and use on
Give me Luke 2 and 36. Because they always say Mary was a virgin. Mary's a virgin, and the Lord came down and he was horny one day.
Right.
Okay.
You want me to get the Zondervan for this?
You got it?
It's in one.
It's one of the
I thought that's what Zachariah was doing. I guess that nigga was just thirsty.
Glass, I went in there and looked. I thought the fire got it.
Yeah. I thought that nigga was just thirsty because he came back with only something to drink. Came back with a full cold Coca-Cola. He did not come back with a Zondervan. So I just thought the Zondervan wasn't in there. The Zondervan Bible Dictionary for virgin. Luke 2 and 36. Yeah, you can go ahead and read Luke. Yeah, you can get that on page 882. Somebody read Luke 2 and 36.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 36. And there was one, Anna, a prophetess.
See, there was Anna, a prophetess. Anna was a prophetess. Did she lead a congregation like prophetess Taffy Dollar? No. Continue reading.
The daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Asher. She was of a great age and had lived with her husband 7 years from her virginity.
You see, y'all don't understand what virginity is. Y'all don't understand what a virgin is. She lived with her husband 7 years from her virginity. So she probably got her period about 12 or 13. And then 7 years after that, then she went to her husband. He didn't just take her as some little girl. You become a virgin as a woman. You know when you become a virgin? When you're able to start having children. That's when you become a virgin. When you get your flower. All right? Go ahead and read the Zondervan, 882.
You want the word virgin? Come.
Yeah, it's on page 882. Am I right or am I wrong?
It's on 601 in this one.
Go to page 882 and see what that says.
The farthest page this one go to is like 621.
All right, go ahead. Then you got it.
It says virgin, a young woman of marriageable age.
What page you on?
601, sir.
I'm gonna just put that in here. Go ahead.
A young woman of marriageable age, whether married or not.
Read that one more time.
Con. A young woman of marriageable age, whether married or not.
You hold that. Somebody give me. Is it Genesis 24:67?
I know it's in Genesis 24. No, it's when Adam and. Oh yeah.
You said this is
24:67, I believe. You said what? Yep. Not Jacob, but Isaac. Go ahead.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 67. And Isaac brought her to his mother's. Isaac brought her to his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah. She became his wife.
See what?
She became his wife.
It said that Isaac took Rebekah into his mother's tent, and she became his wife, meaning they had sex. Read the Zondervan again.
Con. Virgin, a young woman of marriageable age, whether married or not.
See, it said a woman of marriageable age, whether married or not. In the Bible, we know sex is marriage. Give me Genesis 4:1. Just so I can prove it.
Oh, no. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife.
He did what?
Knew Eve, his
He
wife.
knew Eve, his wife, and what?
And she conceived.
And
bare Cain.
You see, when you know your wife, that means having a sexual relation. Give me marriage in the Zondervan.
Con.
Let me show you what marriage is in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary.
Okay, I got it, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, I don't think you got it in there. Mari. Yeah, I don't got it in here.
All right, that ain't in there. No sweat.
Oh wait, Salaki.
I'm about to just give it. Yeah, I'm about to just give it to you because I know it off the top. But go ahead.
Con. Read it from the first paragraph.
Yep. Read the whole thing with marriage.
Con. Most scholars today favor the theory that Mark's gospel was written first and it was used by Matthew and Luke when Salaki. That's at the top of the page. Now I'm back in marriage now.
All
it's
right.
an intimate personal union to which a man and woman consent, consummated and continuously nourished by sexual intercourse.
It's continuously by what?
Sexual intercourse.
That's what marriage is. Sexual intercourse. And it's constantly by sexual intercourse. So when you know that somebody is married, you know they're married because sex is marriage, right? So it's letting you know this. That's why it's important. Go ahead.
Khan, you want me to finish the rest then? Because you know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Khan says imperfected in a lifelong partnership.
You know what?
A lifelong partnership.
Until you get mad.
A lifelong partnership.
Until you find somebody else.
A lifelong partnership.
This is lifelong. By constant sex. That's why if you're not hitting your rib, she gonna call the generals and say, he ain't came through. Yeah. He was supposed to come through and put my head through the headboard. And he hasn't yet. It's been 3 months. And the general gonna say, hey, go over there and tend to your wife. Because it's continual sex. That's what your marriage is. Because sex is marriage. All right, where are we at? Let me see what I need. I don't need nothing else. Any questions online or in the class?
No questions online.
All right, with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Officer Isaac Allen. Yeah, clap it up for him.
We're the ISUPK, started on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment, found in Numbers 18 and 21 in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to treasury department or teacher. Priesthood, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. The feast of the dedication, HaChanukkah, the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days, starts Wednesday, December 25th, 2024, for 8 days, found in 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verses 52 through 61. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shorts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that, get the class back over to Officer Shamal 100.
With that, we go to Amaji, in which we stand. Give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Ahmad Shabbat, Amaji, Barak, Yazamatah. We're going to shower, turn, face the sisters, sisters rise. Men of Israel, Ahmad Shabbat, Amaji, Barak, Yazamatah, dismiss.